The True Potential scenes were some of the most crazy moments in Ninjago history because they gave the ninjas crazy powers which they never used. But those scenes were still pretty crazy. So, to rank the True Potentials, I do have as a little bit of a system. We will be basing it off factors such as epicness, you know, how cool it was, story, how affected it was to the story, and finally its lead up. So, with that out of the way, let's start off with the weakest of the True Potentials. So, my least favourite is Cole's. This is pretty much just because the only lead up to it was that Cole and his dad finally made up, then Piper came along and pushed some stuff onto Cole and his dad, which then allowed Cole to unlock his true potential. And my second least favourite is Sora's true potential, and in the show, they don't actually call it her true potential, and I can't say for certain that it was, but if you ask the whole Ninjago community, most of them would say that it was her true potential, which is why I decided to include it. So, before unlocking her true potential, all of the ninja were fighting Empress Beatrix, who was being absolutely crazy, opening up a bunch of mergequakes, and at this point, a few characters have fallen into the mergequakes, and then Sora's parents start calling out to her, and she freezes. Her parents then start yapping about how the Empress is still good and all that. They have to be the most delusional people of all time. Anyway, Sora ends up realizing that her parents are dumbasses and will never change, which allows her to use her tech powers on her own for the very first time, and she uses it on Empress Beatrix's merge gun right before she was about to blast Aaron with it. Sora gets a lot of points for the lead up, but it wasn't very epic and it didn't really feel like a huge moment story-wise. And in fifth, we have Jay's true potential. Now, Jay's was actually pretty good. Nia was chained up onto a roller coaster ride by Piper, and Jay jumps on to try and free Nia, but he can't undo the chain, and it is also worth mentioning that Jay is starting to turn into a snake as well. They then have a heart-to-heart conversation, and Nia kisses Jay, which turns him human again. So then, he stands up and uses his lightning powers to teleport him outside the roller coaster, and then uses his lightning powers to stop the coaster from moving and saving Nia. It gets a lot of points for a lead-up and story, since it's basically started the whole Jay and Nia ship. And fourth is Nia's true potential, which seems pretty low considering how cool it was. So, throughout possession, Nia was trained to become the master of water, and it took her a while to be able to produce water from her hands, but even then, she still couldn't really control it really well. But then, when all hope was slowly draining away, Nia remembers what Sensei Wu told her about how to unlock her true potential. We then get flashbacks of Nia dropping her ice cream on the floor and doing whatever this is with a basketball, and then finally her succeeding in becoming Samurai X. She then unlocks her true potential, and a tornado of water starts to surround her, and then a huge wave comes and smashes into the preeminent, which kills it. The only thing that I think could have made it better was if she got an NRG form like the other ninja. I mean, at least Sora's eyes turned pink. Nia got absolutely nothing, but overall, it was still a really good true potential scene. But just edging it out is Zane's true potential. So obviously, Zane unlocked his true potential by finding out that he was a ninjoid, which automatically gives it some points for story and lead up as well. But it also gets a lot for epicness, because the other three ninja at the time were fighting the tree horns, and then Zane runs out screaming, "Leave my friends alone." He then proceeds to turn into a different breed and spin jutsus all of them and absolutely smokes them. He then gets into a standoff with the queen of the tree horns and unlocks his true potential and ices it. He also gets extra points for being the first to unlock his true potential. And in second, we have Kai's, which is very good in my opinion. So, to set the scene, Kai and Lloyd are trapped inside the fire temple, which is about to explode, and Kai is trying to get the Fang Blade, and then Lloyd yells out to him because he needs help. Kai needs to make a decision on whether to save Lloyd or get the Fang Blade. Easy decision, right? Get the Fang Blade. Kid Lloyd was so annoying, and the world is better off with that awful trim gone. Unfortunately, Kai saves Lloyd, and he then turns into a ball of fire and shoots out of the volcano and onto the bounty. And he unlocks his true potential because he realized that his true potential wasn't to become the Green Ninja, it was to protect him. Like, how did Kai know the scrawny brat of a child was destined to be the Green Ninja? But jokes aside, it was really cool, and it of course gets ton of points for lead up and story. But in first place, how could I not put Lloyd's true potential? And before we get into it, I do already know that there are going to be a few people that will disagree that this is Lloyd's true potential, but in my opinion it is, and it is my video. So obviously for every category it gets full marks. The build up was almost 2 seasons long. It started with finding out who the Green Ninja was, and then when it was revealed to be Lloyd, he started training, and we got heaps of scenes of that, which was pretty cool. And then we saw him face off against Garmadon a couple of times and fail until the final battle, where he succeeded in defeating Garmadon as well as the Overlord. And another thing you may disagree with is that I think him turning gold is such a cool idea, and I also like how before this, the show never actually said that Lloyd would turn gold in the final battle, so it was a complete surprise, at least to me, when he turned gold. But the only thing that I think could have made this even better is that the fight between the Overlord and Lloyd was just a little bit underwhelming. It felt a bit short, and the action wasn't as good as I think it could have been, but overall I did really like it. So that is the ranking of the Ninja's true potentials. Let me know whether you disagree with it in the comments, and check out my ranking of the Ninja video here. See you later, be Ninja.